You go in there and it looks like they wiped all of their pictures. But no, you've just been blocked. And then all of a sudden one day, there they are. It's like, oh, where did you come from? Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Psychopath Exposure. A few weeks ago, someone asked me to make a video on the phenomena that is blocking and unblocking. When we go through that madness, because really what it is madness. The madness of blocking the narcissist and then unblocking the narcissist. Blocking the narcissist again, then unblocking the narcissist. And I forgot to make the video. And now someone leaves a comment that just caught my attention right away on their story, and how often they would go blocking and unblocking for 10 years. And I thought, you know what, this is a sign, let's address this, because I think we've all done this at some point. Maybe not all of us, but even the narcissist goes through that same phenomena. They block and unblock us. They block and unblock the new supply. They block us, go away, and then they block the new supply, come back to us, unblock us. You know the deal, right? So I want to read this comment because it has great insight, and I think y'all are gonna relate with it a lot. So it goes like this: 10 years of on and off blocking and unblocking, giving me the silent treatment, ghosting, hoovering, using multiple supply at a time while pursuing me, etc. I thought it was done for good in 2020 when I blocked and left him. But lo and behold, he came back with a new number in 2022, attempting to hoover me while crying on the phone and pretending life hasn't been the same and he's depressed, blah, blah, blah. I entertained the conversation, but kept my walls up. He continuously asked for no boundaries, to be vulnerable, to start over. I thought, okay, 2 years perhaps he changed. And after 4 months of talking, quote unquote, being together, he suddenly blocked and ghosted me with no warning. Didn't do a thing to him besides reducing the amount of responses I was giving him through text and prolonging my response time, only because I noticed that he started pulling away and responding several hours to a couple of days later. So I did the same to him, as I've expressed several times to him that this was not okay to do and extremely disrespectful. Him agreeing he'd do better and stay consistent, just for him to start making excuses and saying he's traveling soon out of nowhere. A week later of barely talking, the narc asks to call me. I simply say after I finish work, just to find myself the next morning, since he didn't call after I got out of work, nor did he even open or view my text. I was blocked and have not heard from him since. A blessing from God himself, as I knew I was still giving him the benefit of the doubt for 10 years. Hopefully I'm discarded for good and I never see or hear from him again. I'm at a point where he makes me feel disgusted with him, where I see him so little and low and a waste to society. No longer can I cry for a man like him. Cried so much during the 4 months talking, but when I saw I was blocked and ghosted, didn't share a tear. As if my soul was crying and begging to get out of this shit show. And the second it did, I was calm. Trust me, after a while, you grow numb and start not caring anymore. I think I finally hit the stage I will never allow him back in. Blocked everywhere and will continue to block even if he attempts this shit again. Bye. Great fucking job. Hell of a story. It's unfortunate that it took 10 years, right? But it's gonna take as long as it takes, especially when you're not aware of what's going on. You're not aware of narcissist personality disorder. You can't reconcile that your partner would treat you like you're like his biggest enemy, right? It's hard to reconcile something like that. So it's going to take as long as it's going to take, but in the end, what matters is if you won the war. Not the battle, but the war, because he's going to continue playing this game with all his new little sources of supply, all his new little girlfriends. He's going to play the same game. But you, by being out and understanding what this whole thing was and learning from it, you've won the war, because you actually have a chance to be happy and successful. He doesn't. He's got this disorder. He follows this pattern. He's always miserable. He comes back crying, making all this shit up. A lot of times these people know that they're fuck-ups, and they know that they're self-sabotaging, and they know that they're going to do it again. And they get frustrated with themselves to a point that they're like, fuck it, you know, let it all burn. And they just do what they do with no remorse, not a care in the world. They know they have a disorder. Narcissists know exactly what they are, especially psychopaths. They know exactly what they are. And they know they're broken. And sometimes they might show glimpses of empathy. Sometimes they might show a little bit of vulnerability, sensibility. But it's almost like if they're neurotic. At some point, this shit just comes out and they can't help themselves, and they do it again. And you know, you witnessed that. 2 years, right? 2 years he was gone, and then he came back, and you figured, wow, you know what? You know, people probably change in 2 years. He probably had time to work on himself, to reflect. Maybe he has changed, and you gave him the benefit of the doubt, but you still had your boundaries up, right? You still had your walls up. You were careful. You were verifying, because you've been through this. You've been through this before. And lo and behold, like, he starts doing the same shit, and I'm happy to hear that you took a page right off of the narcissist playbook, and you did the same thing right back to him. So what does he do in retaliation? He just utterly just ghosts and blocks you out of the blue. And that was, you know, in your case, that's what happened, but in other cases, they just do that for several other reasons, unbeknownst to us. They just do it. You know, I remember my ex just stopped responding on one Saturday night. Just like that, we got into a little uncomfortable conversation in the morning because I was feeling neglected, and I was pointing things out, and yeah, didn't respond again for the rest of the day. Ghosted and went right back to the other dude that supposedly she had cut off completely, you know, and a week later came back to me. Crazy how similar these stories are, and how these patterns are. You know, if this story resonates with you guys, drop a like on the video right now, and let me know in the comments if this is exactly what you went through, because it's just funny. It's the same pattern across the board. And the phenomena of blocking and unblocking, that was the purpose of this video. So I want to talk about why we do that, and I also want to talk about why the narcissist does that. But, you know, we do it because we know that we're being abused. We know that it's unacceptable. We know our self-worth and our self-esteem has taken a toll. It's tanked, really. And, you know, so we do what we got to do. We know we got to just put boundaries and just cut this person off, and then we do it. But then if you've been trauma bonded to this person, if you've been conditioned to playing this game over and over and over again, you're going to feel the absence of their presence, and you're going to get curious. And sometimes you even gaslight yourself, and you might be like, I just want to make sure that he's with that other woman or that other guy. I just need to see that, and then I'll be done. And I call bullshit on that. I say, if you stalk their social media, and if you actually see photos of the narcissist with a new supply, it's gonna fuck you up even more than you even imagined. You're gonna see that and get all sorts of triggered. You're gonna feel all sorts of betrayal when you actually have confirmation that they're with somebody else. And remember, what you see on social media is what people want you to see. You don't know how that relationship is actually unfolding. They may not even be together, and they leave those pictures there because they know you're looking, right? They know you're looking. So you don't really know what's going on. Just if you've been going through this situation for 10 years, you already know his patterns. Trust that the same shit that you went through is the same thing that the new woman is going through. And it's always going to be like that. And there's probably another one that he's grooming already. And now, maybe she's blocking him and then unblocking him, and then he comes back and then she blocks him again because the same thing repeats itself. Now, what's crazy is how toxic these narcissists are, that they also do the same thing with us. And you really have to pay attention to someone that, for no reason, just blocks you. For no reason. You just blocked. You wake up one day and you're blocked, And a week later, 2 weeks later, sometimes a month later, you see that you've been unblocked. And how do you know? And by this I mean, sometimes like on WhatsApp, if you've been blocked and you have their profile there on your chat box, and you get blocked, that disappears. And then if you're unblocked, it suddenly pops up. You'll see their little face again, and it's like, oh shit, there they are. Same thing with like social media and Instagram. You're blocked, something's wrong with a little chat box. You go in there and it looks like they wiped all of their pictures, but no, you've just been blocked. And then all of a sudden one day, there they are. It's like, oh, where did you come from? And sometimes it happens at the most unexpected times. You're finally starting to get over them, and boom, there's a little picture again. It's like, what the hell? And then they'll block you again. Like, who does that, right? Like, you'll see they take away their profile picture, and then all of a sudden they put a new profile picture, or they change their profile picture like every day. Is this obsession to carry on this facade, of this false identity online? Who knows who they're trying to play? Who knows? Like, I remember my ex told me when she came back, she was like, oh, I wiped all of my social media. I disabled all my accounts, and I blocked, what's his face. And I'm sitting there like, who are you trying to kid? Like, why would you block first of all, why would you disable all your social media? What are you trying to hide? What don't you want me to see? What don't you want me to see? Or why are you hiding from this person? You think you can just block someone that you're sleeping with that's probably trauma bonded to you, and they're just gonna go away? This person is going nuts trying to figure out why you blocked them. You think I'm stupid? You think I'm stupid? But they do. They think that you're dumb. They don't respect you. When you take them back over and over again, they lose respect for you. So yeah, they thought I was probably dumb. But don't beat yourself up, because this is what happens when you're dealing with toxic people. You see them as if they're human beings, and you want to fix them, you want to help them, you want them to get better. You still have hope that at some point they're going to change. Like you said, 2 years had passed. Maybe he's changed. People don't change the way we hope that they do, especially not narcissists, psychopaths, toxic people. They don't. They just get better at their wicked ways. We, on the other hand, the sky's the limit to our success, to our healing powers, to how we can grow from this situation. As long as we don't make a home out of rumination, dwelling on the past, and carrying that resentment to the point that it destroys us. As long as we don't make a home in those low vibration energy frequencies, we have a chance to rise, and there's no ceiling. But with a narcissist, there's a ceiling to their success. They always reach a tipping point where they cannot move that relationship forward. They have to self-sabotage it. They have to, because they're addicted to maybe porn. They're probably addicted to just having a harem of women or a bunch of dudes hitting their DMs. They're addicted to that validation. They just cannot stay committed to one person. They get bored no matter how good you are. And remember, you were probably targeted because you're a high quality individual. But no matter how good you are, they're going to get bored. At some point, you're going to do something that doesn't align with their master plan. Okay? And at that point, they're going to change. And some of them have a fear of abandonment. Okay? We're talking about narcissists here. Narcissists are usually made by a traumatic experience, by their upbringing. They may have a severe fear of abandonment, that they're going to abandon you before you abandon them. As in your case, he started pulling away from you. He started not responding to you for a day or 2 days, right? Which was completely unacceptable when you're with somebody. That's your person, right? You guys are talking, you guys are seeing each other. That's totally unacceptable. That's not what you do. He started doing that. So you started doing it back, didn't you? You started playing the game right back, right? So what did he do? He was like, oh shit, she's on to me. She's not chasing me. She is not chasing me. Holy shit, she's pulling away. You know what? Fuck this. Abort mission. I'm gonna abandon her before she abandons me, because the narcissist have to be in control of the situation. He noticed you took control. He's like, nah, that's it, I'm out. That's it, I'm out. And that's what he did. Which makes him in control of the situation. Because it's like, now you notice that he blocked you. Now it's like, if you're trauma bonded, that's gonna mess you up. Because it'll mess anybody up. The good news for you is that had happened so much that you were like, fuck this. Indeed is a sign from God. It is a blessing. It is a blessing. It sucks that it took 10 years, but you know what? At the same time, that's how long it took to make you this strong, where you're not chasing him now. You're actually glad that it happened, you know? And as you pointed out, during those 4 months that you guys were talking, you were still crying. You were crying because you knew that you were taking back someone that had abused and betrayed you for so long. And you're still taking them back, and you know that's wrong, and you know it's going to happen again. Of course you were crying. But there's no more tears left. There's no more tears left. Not for him. He doesn't deserve them. He never did. So rejoice that he's gone. Rejoice that he's gone. And congratulations on the attitude that you have now, that you just don't care. You've become numb to his game. It doesn't affect you, and soon you're going to be indifferent. And once you're indifferent, none of this is going to have any effect on you anymore. Because the trajectory of your life will have completely shifted at that point. That doesn't mean you're not going to remember, but it's not going to haunt you anymore. And that's the goal. That's the goal. That's what I like to work with the survivors in my coaching program, is to get us to a point where we can shift our focus, the trajectory of our life, start focusing on the things that we actually want to accomplish. Because the alternative is just to sit around and mope and just, oh, woe is me, I got betrayed, I got cheated on, narcissist ruined my life, oh no. Yeah, it sucks. It does suck. But do you want to spend the rest of your life telling that story and not doing anything with your life? Like, you still have choices. You're still alive, and you don't have this disorder. You still have a chance to be happy, to find happiness within yourself, really, within yourself, to do the things that you want to do, whether you have a partner or not, which then opens you up to meeting your twin flame. It opens you up to meeting the person that you're destined to be with, because you no longer need it, and you no longer desperately seek it every day. You're working on yourself. You're focusing on yourself. You're doing the things that you love. You're building a relationship with yourself. These are the things that I like to work with on my coaching program. We've been through this for too long. We've gone through this. We've gone through the patterns, gone through the trauma bond, right? But is this going to be the rest of your life? Don't you have goals that you abandoned because this piece of shit robbed you of the will to do the things that you used to love? He robbed you of that will, right? Well, I say you can get that will back. I say you can get that back because you're a beacon of light. Remember, the narcissist's like a vampire, and they need you. They need your light. They need your energy. That's why they're attracted to you. Without you, they're nothing. But without them, you're everything. So this was a blessing. This was a blessing. Rejoice that it happened. I'm glad that it happened for you. He's gone. Keep him blocked. Never entertain anything that he says. If he ever finds a way back, do not engage, do not reply. Simply block that account, block that number, and move on. You may get a little triggered. You may get a little triggered. You do some breath work. It'll pass. You may be a little uneasy for a couple of days, but remember, you didn't engage, which means you're not expecting now his response. You don't know if he knows that you read it or not, because he has no way of knowing. So he may have fired off an email to you or fired off a text to you, you know, a hoovering text. He may have just fired the same exact text to another source of supply that he fucked up and now he's trying to fix, right? He may just be copying and pasting the same message. Doesn't even know whether you read it or not. There's infinite possibilities of what's going on in these people's broken sense of reality. So just keep them blocked. Keep doing you. And this too shall pass. Well, thanks for making that comment. I thought it was a very powerful story. And I'm sure it's going to relate with a lot of people here. So thanks again. I hope you got some value out of this, and I'd love to work with you guys. If you're still struggling getting over your toxic narcissist ex, just click the link below for more information on my coaching program, and we can start working together. So I hope you guys are having a great evening, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. My name is Kira. This is Psychopath Exposure. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.